Kia ora, I'm William Matthews. We help people like you to lead from a place of energy instead of a place of exhaustion. The stats in New Zealand right now say that 1 in 2 of our employees across the whole country are in high risk of burnout. In our work, we've helped 99%, I want to say 100%, but there's always someone, we've helped 99% of the people who implement our strategies come back from the brink of burnout and are now thriving. Let me share with you how I went from being in complete burnout to get to this point where I'm thriving, and I've been able to share those strategies and tips with thousands of others who have now implemented it themselves. 4 years ago, I woke up one morning and couldn't move. Nothing wrong with me physically, just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, completely exhausted and drained, and I couldn't move at all. I'm the kind of guy that sleeps things off, and so in 24 hours, I'm usually all good to go. 24 hours, I wasn't good to go, and I was still lying in the bed looking at the ceiling. The next day, my wife gets a bit worried because she has never seen me like that before and wonders why the sleeping off thing didn't work this time. 2 days later, still in the same place, couldn't move at all, still feeling useless, and my kids start saying, "What is Dad doing? Why is Dad still in bed? Why is Dad not getting up and going to work and doing all the stuff around here that he normally does?" Then I start to feel like, is this something serious? Is there a reason why I can't move? Maybe there's something actually seriously wrong with me. Maybe I've got cancer, maybe I've got some kind of brain thing going on. I have no idea. I also feel like I'm letting a whole lot of people down. I run 2 businesses at the time. My team don't know what's up. I'm on 3 boards and trusts. I feel like I've let them down because I've missed a bunch of meetings. I'm also doing a bunch of voluntary work in a community, and I feel like I'm letting all of them down as well. And this is only day 4. 2 days later, I'm still unable to move very much at all. We then have to drag the mattress into the lounge because I'm starting to feel a little bit isolated in my room. And so now I can feel I can be part of the team, but also stink because now everyone sees me not being able to do anything, and people come over visit, and I feel stink because they see me doing nothing. I think I just need to do something productive and get myself out of this, and so I'm going to start reading books and listening to podcasts, except I can't hold the book up, and when I try and listen to something, it doesn't stay in. The only good thing that came out of 2 weeks of lying on the mattress in the lounge looking at the ceiling were these 3 key insights that I got, that I implemented, and that I've now taught thousands of other leaders to do, which has now got me to this point where I am now thriving. What does that look like for me? I don't have to take work home every day. I don't need to work late after work. I don't keep thinking about work when I'm at home. My kids get to spend time with me. They get my actual full attention, not me on the phone trying to do an activity with them, like go for a run outside while I'm checking emails. We get to spend time together. I'm playing cards with the kids at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Who does that? I get to spend time with my wife. We have a weekly date night. We get to spend time during lunchtimes. We hang out way more than we used to before. I also get to work with a thriving team because we talk about the challenging stuff right up front, early on, without anyone getting drained from all of the emotional stuff that's happening in the background. I also get to take regular breaks from work. Yes, we have a quarterly review. It's 2 days every quarter. My business partner and I take time out of work and we go and focus on the business, which is actually super rejuvenating for us. We also take breaks away from work. We spend 1 to 2 weeks at a time going on trips, spending time with our whānau, taking school holidays off to do stuff with the kids during the school holidays instead of not doing anything with them in the holidays and rushing off to stuff with them in the weekends. But here's the cool thing about it. It's not just happened for me and for my team. We've helped thousands of other leaders to do exactly the same thing, to give them space with their team, with their whānau, with their kids at the most important times of their lives. Let me give you a couple of examples of some of the leaders that we've been able to help. Jen, for example, she's a principal at a school. They're super busy. You get that. Education's crazy at the moment. She recognized that she was actually getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. First thing she would do is go through her emails and start fixing stuff straight away. After implementing some of our strategies, she separated some space just for her, and she now does workout at the gym. She also does her quiet time for herself. She does some reflection before she even goes into work, and she feels so much calmer to deal with all of the stuff that she needs to on the emails once she gets to them, which is not till 8 o'clock. Another one we've helped is Mel. Mel is at Quayside Holdings, which is a super busy commercial company. They have so much going on. They're doing a bunch of land development all over the place. She is the GM. She's super busy. She recognized that actually it's super hard to switch off mentally. Going home from work but still thinking about work, if that's you, that sounds like you. This is exactly what she was experiencing. Implemented some of our strategies, and now she's got a pattern to help her switch off mentally from work so that she can focus now on her kids and her whānau when she gets home. Another one we've got is Hayley. She is a GM at a district council. There are busy places as well, as you can imagine. She actually felt like she was going through a little bit of an imposter syndrome because she was the youngest and the newest person on the exec team, and so wasn't super sure and wasn't super confident. Implementing some of the strategies that we helped her with, she was able to increase her confidence in working with her peers, but also she was able to feel more confident in herself because she was keeping commitments to herself about her own well-being. The other one we've got is Barry. He's a principal in another pretty unique school. He was super busy, but he also felt super isolated. And so through our strategies, we helped him to work closely with his team so he didn't feel so isolated, and with a bunch of other principals in the region that helped him to feel supported at a peer level as well. He had other people now that he could talk to and work with. So we've helped a bunch of people, and these are some of the things that they've said. I said before that I had 3 epiphanies during that burnout phase, and at the end of this, I'm going to share the one that's made the biggest difference to myself and all of these people. So watch to the end. It's going to contain something that you can implement right now, a tool that you can use to help change your life right now. I don't want to waste your time here. If you're the kind of person who says that they'll sleep when they're dead, they want to keep working 70 plus hours a week, they enjoy not being at home, they really want to just keep on doing all of their busyness, this is not for you. If you're the kind of person that's looking for a quick fix, you think that this is a symptom fixer, you're just going to take this pill, you're going to wave that magic wand and everything's going to be okay, but you don't really want to do the work of making change yourself, it's probably not for you. It's not for you if you enjoy actually being busy and it is helping you feel a need to feel wanted. This is also not for you if you have everything locked in. Like if you have good energy, personal patterns, and you rejuvenate yourself regularly, if you have good boundaries in place and you have conversations with people that you know you need to have and you don't avoid them, then this is not for you. It's also not for you if you've got good patterns already locked in for your well-being, for your whānau time, for your team time, and you're doing all of that stuff. This is not for you because you actually are doing a great job. But if you're one of these leaders, then this is definitely for you. If you've heard yourself say, I have no time, this is for you. It's also for you if you've heard one of your kids say, when are you going to finish work today? When are you going to hop off your laptop? Or if you've heard your kids say, when can we go outside and play? Will you be coming to my speech today? Are you coming to the camp that we've got on next week? If you've heard your kids say any of these things, this is for you because you're missing out on a bunch of stuff that is important to them right now. It's also for you if your team that are super unsure and uncertain about what they're actually doing and they're spinning their wheels. This is also for you if you're the kind of person that says, as soon as I finish ... project, task, activity, deal, I will look after myself. I will have whānau time. I will do the things that I need to do to get the team sorted. Right? If you've heard yourself say that before, this is for you. It's also for you if you have had a recent health event, like I did, that woke you up to the fact that you need to make some changes about your well-being. This is for you. Also for you if you are currently carrying a bunch of other people's burdens, i.e. you're doing a bunch of your team's work, you're filling in for them, you're finishing off the reports for them, you're getting stuff in and getting it all done by the deadline, but you're doing all of their stuff. You're doing their work. This is for you. So basically this is for you if you want to improve your well-being, feel better about your relationships with your whānau in the community, with your team, and you want to stop avoiding all those conversations that you know you should have, but you just don't want to do. It's also for you if you want to have a better life and you want to feel like you're thriving again and actually reignite the passion that you have for the kaupapa that you're involved in. So now I'm going to go into the model of exactly how we've helped these thousands of leaders and myself, obviously, to get into that thriving space. It's super simple. It's stuff that you can do. It's things that you can change in your life right now. And remember, at the end, I'm going to give you this specific tool that you can start doing now to make things better. What is our model? It's basically energy, boundaries, and patterns. I'm going to draw this on my little triangle here. Energy is the base. You rejuvenating your energy and renewing it regularly so that you can contribute that energy and direct it to areas that you want to is such an important part. Example, Pam is a GM at a charitable trust that looks after people with disabilities to help them live independently. She was feeling super drained, depleted, overwhelmed, and pretty much overworked. We helped her. She implemented some cool strategies that really supported to renew her energy, but also renewed her sense of passion for the work that she was involved in and helped support her team to be able to renew their energy as well. Here's what she said. I have a renewed sense of energy and passion for the work which I had begun to resent due to overload and burnout. Over the last few years, I've made significant growth both personally and professionally as a result of my coaching. I have found the support and insight to be extremely valuable. The second part of this model is boundaries. Boundaries means protecting your time and your energy. We help you first to figure out what are the best boundaries for you that don't take so much time and effort, but they give super high impact. And we then help you have the conversations with the people that you need to have those conversations with about your boundaries. Here are some examples of boundaries that I've put in place myself and that will help other people to put in place. Number one, work. I have deep work time where I get to focus on doing just work that I need to get done. I've let my team know, they know not to come and interrupt me or ask me questions during this time because it is protected time for me to get stuff done. Another example is keeping work at work and leaving home stuff for home. A cool transition that my business partner uses is he keeps the phone in the car, the work phone stays in the car when he gets there, and then he goes inside without it. No more work contact, no more work anything, no more looking at the emails. When he's at home, he is at home. Another example at home is the golden hour. Basically, it's my morning routine. It's 60 minutes long. I've talked to my wife and kids about me needing to do this to rejuvenate myself each morning and so I don't get interrupted anymore. I go out, get my walk done, do my reading, do my reflecting, get the journal done. All of this stuff happens and I don't get interrupted, and it's awesome. Kate is another person that will help to implement these boundaries to protect her time and energy. It didn't take a lot of effort, but she got high impact from it. Here's the insights that she gave. Working with Kānuka made a critical difference in how I thought about what I should be doing versus what I could get other people to do and where the best value of my time was. It helped me focus on creating the type of work-life balance that I wanted, and it allowed me to be effective not just in the work setting, but in my overall life. The third part of our model is patterns. Patterns means patterns for your personal well-being, as well as patterns with the people that you interact with, your whānau and your team. In the workplace, it looks like patterns for one-on-ones, team meetings, and regular communication. Here's an example of a pattern that one team put in place. They have a super social butterfly in their team, and she loves to chit-chat. Every time she would walk past your desk, she would stop to have a talk with you and just see how things are going. That's cool, right? Except for it was interrupting a bunch of the team in their work time, and it was super hard to get back into the focus time. The pattern they implemented to honor her as well as the team's needs was they would go to her every morning, have a kōrero, catch up with her, see how things are going on. She would feel better about that, and then the team would go back to their focused work time without interruption. Here's a couple of testimonials from people who have implemented these patterns, and then I'm going to tell you about the tool I mentioned right at the start, the one that all these leaders have implemented that has helped all of them in their personal well-being. Testimonial number one. The program brought an awareness to how I lead people and how it affects others. It helped me focus on creating a positive mindset, process the workplace issues, and develop new positive habits and set a new direction. Testimonial number two. I have made some positive changes around my health and exercise regimes, built some better relationships at work with some team members, which I directly attribute to the advice received on this course. So what is this tool that's helped people in their personal well-being, this pattern that's worked for so many people, including myself? This was one of the key epiphanies that I got during my burnout. It's called the 15-3-1 tool. Let me take you back to those 2 weeks where I was looking at the ceiling feeling useless and unproductive. I was the leader that was saying yes to everyone, that had no boundaries. I was the leader that wasn't rejuvenating myself, even though I was the well-being guy. I was the one doing all of the well-being things you can think of. Yes, I was writing my journal. Yes, I was writing my feelings out. Yes, I had emotional regulation patterns. Yes, I was eating all the right food. Yes, I was training and running and exercising and doing all of that stuff that all the well-being people tell you to do. I was doing all those. I was also the leader that was first in at work and last out. I was also the guy that would think about work outside of work all the time. The biggest epiphany I got throughout this experience was that I needed to stop more often. I was always on the go. I didn't have rest time for my brain. I didn't have pause time to spend time with whānau. I didn't have set times to spend with my wife. All of those things were not happening. Then I started figuring out I need to find a way to be consistent at this because it won't happen unless I put it on my calendar. Then I started thinking about some numbers. What is the least amount that I could do on a daily basis that would actually leave me feeling rejuvenated and refreshed? The number came to mind, 15 minutes. Even on my busiest days, I could find 15 minutes to do something for myself that would rejuvenate and re-energize me. Next number that came to mind, what if I needed to do something a little bit longer than 15 minutes to feel rejuvenated and re-energized? 3 hours came to mind. Have no idea why, but 3 hours a week was the next part that I needed to put in place. To do things for myself, feeling selfish and guilty, of course, to do things for myself that would actually rejuvenate and re-energize me. For me, that looked like going to spend time with my wife at the spa, going for dinner, having a regular date night, and just doing stuff that I felt was disconnecting me from work and reconnecting me to my whānau and my loved ones. Then another number came to mind, and it was 1, as in 1 day every month. My brain couldn't handle it because that's 24 hours, that's a whole day a month. I never have a whole day to do anything for myself. That's crazy. However, what I learned to do over time and what I've helped many other leaders to do is to implement this 15-3-1 pattern, which helps them rejuvenate, re-energize, and reignite the passion for what they do, whether that be their mahi, whether that be their community service, whether that be their contributions in any other aspect of their life. It reignited and rejuvenated them. So when you think about 15 minutes a day, 3 hours a week, and 1 day a month, what comes to your mind? If you could honestly do something for yourself that would rejuvenate and re-energize you, what would that actually be? For myself, the 15 minutes looks like me reading something uplifting, me doing karakia, me going outside for walks, me spending time in the garden, because that's what actually rejuvenates me. I do it on a daily basis. For the 3 hours, I get to go and do stuff that I like doing. I get to be in water, I get to go to the beach, I get to go for a swim, I get to go do more exercise or a longer exercise session. I get to do stuff that I feel rejuvenated doing, and I don't have to feel guilty about it. Some of the other activities that people do in their 1 day is disconnecting from technology, leaving work at work and getting into natural spaces. Some people, that's getting in the water, fishing, going to the beach, hanging out there. Other people, it's getting into the bush and it's going for a hunt, or it's just going for some cool walks. For others, it's reigniting their passion in the creative space. Some of the hobbies that they used to enjoy doing but don't have time for anymore. That could be anything in the musical space, in the artistic space, or even in sport. These are some of the cool ways that people apply the 15-3-1. This is just one of the tools that we have in our model that help leaders to lead from passion again instead of exhaustion. What we have seen is that the outcomes are consistent. Leaders feel reignited again, they feel more purposeful about their work again, they feel re-energized in their work and in their personal well-being. Their own personal well-being improves, their relationships with their whānau, their loved ones, improve because they're better at having those conversations. Their relationships with their team at work improve because, again, they've had the conversations and they can maintain good boundaries at work as well. They then also are able to contribute their energy, again, leading from a place of energy and not exhaustion, in the community spaces that they're in, whether that be the marae, the boards, the trust that they're on, or the voluntary things that they do. They're able to contribute energy again into those spaces that they love to do. If this sounds like you, then get in contact with us now. You can find me on LinkedIn, Whittemere Matthews, or on LinkedIn you can find our page, Kānuka Wellbeing and Leadership, and send us a message. We will book in a time to have a kōrero with you and get you started now. Let's do it.